And hello. My name is Bryce Tubbs. With me today is Pam Thomas. She's a mindset coach at What's Within You, which is an international coaching practice, where she does mindset coaching to keep your inner critic from talking to you out of extraordinary things. That's actually really, really cool. I'm really glad that we have you today to really speak with us and really help us out with our mindset hurdles. Thank you so much,
Oh,
Pam.
it's such a pleasure, Bryce. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And also, if you're watching this from anywhere that is not inside of our private community, I just want to personally invite you inside. It's basically a mastermind where we support each other and, help each other towards our dreams every single day. So if that's you and you've been missing out on that support system, come and join us inside that community. I'll put some links either above or below the video for you to find out what's more about it. And, back to Pam, what was life like before you got into coaching? What was the catalyst or events that brought you into the field?
Oh my goodness. Well, life was okay. I'm not going to say life was bad. Life was pretty good. But the catalyst for me to become a coach, a lot of prodding. There were a lot of signs and signals. A lot of people saying to me, "Why aren't you coaching?" And I kept saying, "Well, because I'm working on my master's in industrial organizational psychology." And it finally dawned on me about the fourth or fifth time somebody asked me, "Why aren't you coaching?" Because I needed to pay attention. And so I checked into coaching. And it turns out that what I've been doing a good majority of my adult life was coaching. I just didn't know there was a label for it. And so, I took the leap. I followed the signs and signals. I finally paid attention to what everybody was saying. And I'm glad I did. It's 15 years later, and I'm thrilled.
Wow.
Absolutely thrilled to be a mindset coach.
Wow. That's really great. That's kind of why I'm excited we will have this conversation, because I'm sure in your 15 years, you probably learned some things about mindset that most people probably just hadn't even dreamed about. Like, let me ask you this question. So,
Sure.
what problem are people generally going through when they come to seek help from you?
Oh, it's the inner critic. That is the biggest obstacle that most people that I work with entrepreneurs and other coaches and leaders as well. And that's the biggest thing that plays up in and anything they do is the inner critic is screaming so loud and saying, you can't do that. You're not, who are you to be launching a business? Who are you to be attracting clients? And I think that's the one thing that I really enjoy about what I do is taking out the duct tape, and I've got a huge roll of it, and helping to mute out that inner critic.
Let me ask you this question. So when removing the inner critic, is it
Yes.
first that we get rid of all the negative thoughts, or do we first do positive thoughts and then it drowns itself out over time?
Oh, I love that question. Thanks, Bryce. We're never, here's the bad news. We're never going to be without negative thoughts. Okay. Our brains are wired for negative thoughts. It's called negative bias. And we have our prehistoric ancestors to thank for that. That's what kept them safe. But here's the thing about negative thoughts. We can, as we create awareness around what's real versus what's fiction, because our brain relies on us for fact versus fiction. When we create awareness around the stories that we're telling ourselves, then we have the opportunity to create options for muting that inner critic, for rewriting those stories. And it's I for me personally, positive affirmations have never been something that have worked for me because they're hard for me to believe. So it's a matter of just finding the story that I want to tell myself, or the feeling, more to the point, the feeling that I want to create that helps me to shift my mindset. Because thoughts create beliefs, beliefs create feelings, and it's those feelings that we act upon or don't act upon. And so I'm all about helping people shift the feeling.
Mhm. You know, Let me ask you this question. So when we're talking about entrepreneurs, like
Mhm.
oftentimes a lot of ups and downs and ups and downs. And most people think that, mindset is you only have a mindset problem when things are going bad. Can you talk about, once you start getting some success, how to further go up instead of coming back down?
Oh, you know, to me, and I think about success as being limitless. I also think about success as it's not about the external things.
Mhm.
It's success is when you finally realize that those external things, which do come and go, um, aren't what make you successful. It's owning who you are And it's believing in what you're capable of doing that helps keep the highs going, that helps you to keep taking steps forward. And if you fall or if you fail, that's just an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to grow. And I think it was Winston Churchill who said it best. By the way, I'm a quote junkie, so I collect quotes. He said, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. And that to me is what helps us to sustain success, is the courage to continue, regardless of if we fall down, it's getting back up again.
Mm-hmm. That's funny that you actually said that quote. People really love that on LinkedIn when I post that one.
An awesome quote.
So let's talk about when it comes to mindset and limiting beliefs. Mm-hmm. How can someone start to get awareness of what some of the limiting beliefs are?
Well, I think it's tuning in. We have an amazing GPS system available to us, and that's our emotions. That's how we feel. So if we pay attention to what we're feeling at any given moment, say, for example, you're sitting down to write up a proposal, and all of a sudden you notice that you're not feeling so hot, that you're starting to feel kind of heavy, or you're starting to feel negative. It's checking in and seeing what's going on, what's creating that feeling, and then how do I want to feel instead? And what can I do to create the opposite feeling, the feeling that I want to feel instead? And so it really is a matter of just paying attention to what's going on internally. Oftentimes we get into a habit of not paying attention, and then we go into a spiral because we start beating ourselves up for not being able to achieve something that we want to achieve. And it all comes down to really just being, like you said, being very aware, mm-hmm. and recognizing we have choice at every given second of every given moment of what we think, what we do, and how we feel.
Mm-hmm. Can you also talk about balancing good feelings with bad feelings? Like, for example, sometimes, we might be tired, and how can we really, part of the awareness is actually accurately knowing what you're feeling. Can you talk about, pushing through when when you have to do certain things, how to do that?
Oh, sure. So we all face energy drains, in moments when, maybe the night before we didn't get enough sleep and we're running on fumes. And I think it's really important to pay attention to those feelings, but it's also really important to do things that help motivate us, that help us to engage some positive energy. So for example, if I'm feeling really flat and I know that I have a blog post to write, I will put on some music. And I will groove out for a good solid 10 minutes because that's what feeds me. That's what gets me amped. That's what brings me energy. So it's finding those things that help to create a positive energy, so that, you're not, because if you're writing something when you're feeling flat, or if you're trying to, write a proposal or put content on a website and you're feeling flat, that's the energy you're putting out there. Yeah. And of course you don't want that energy out there.
That's funny. Yeah. Just thinking about kind of like, actually, cool. What is one of the biggest takeaways, from the slowdown, COVID-19 time that you've had?
Oh my gosh. For me, it's been back to basics. Mm-hmm. It's really reconnecting with the things that are most important, with the people that are most important. It's, it's recognizing that, not to sound cliche, life's precious. Mm-hmm. And the time we have is really precious. And so it's making the most, it's not settling. I have done a lot of soul searching during the last 4 months and looking at my life through the lens of where am I settling? Where am I doing things that are just not quite exactly how I want to do them, or not quite exactly what I want to be doing, and starting to slowly but surely change those things or eliminate those things. Because I don't know about you, but settling is no fun, and I'm not doing it. And that's what COVID-19 has really helped me to see.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because one thing that I've noticed is, I can pack the schedule so much tighter, but mm-hmm. still have way more space. Can you talk about, being busy versus, having space in your life, and really how to balance the two?
Well, yeah, I think it depends too on being really discerning on what do you put on your calendar. Are they things that you enjoy doing? Are you packing your calendar just because you need to be busy? I have clients over the years who used to pack their calendar because that's to them that what equated to success, a busy calendar. And at the end, there was a lot of burnout and not a lot of fun being had. So I think it's really being discerning on what are you putting on your calendar? Are they things that you really enjoy doing? Are you balancing out the things you have to do versus the things you want to do? And making sure that, you're not packing it too full with the things that are shoulds.
Yeah.
As human beings, we really do should all over ourselves an awful lot.
Where do you think that comes from?
The shoulding?
Yeah.
Gosh, various and assorted places. It could be society. It could be the things we're reading in the media. It could be, something that is part of our pathology. Maybe we inherited it from a long lineage of family members who felt obligated to do certain things in order to be viewed as successful, nice, in order to be loved, in order to be valued. That I hear that an awful lot. I have to get certain things done in order for me to enjoy life or in order to have fun. So it comes from all sorts of different places, but it is a mindset. At the end of the day, it's a mindset.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this question. Mindset. Is it all like you have most people say it's either a negative mindset or a positive mindset. Is it more of like shades of gray and like aspects of your mindset that's negative and positive, or?
I don't think it is, one way or the other. I think there are shades of gray when it comes to mindset. I think Dr. Carol Dweck put it best. She talked about growth mindset and fixed mindset. And, growth mindset is all about recognizing that you can change your mindset. You can learn, you can grow, you can change. Whereas fixed mindset, of course, is just the opposite, where you believe, nope, this is the way I am. This is the way it's always going to be. That's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I do think that there are varying degrees of that. I think we can dip our toe into both sides in all actuality.
Nice.
That's the same with self-awareness for me. Self-awareness plays a big role in mindset. And I think there are gradients of self-awareness.
Okay. Nice. I think we were talking earlier before we got on, kind of about the journey that you're in right now, where you have a couple special projects coming up. Whichever one you want to talk about first, you can just tell us a little bit more about it.
Oh, sure. I've got two. I've got a new group coaching program launching in August. It's called the Power Up. And it's small groups of folks, limited to 10, where we're taking a goal or a thought from paper to reality. And the really cool thing about it is we're eliminating the inner critic along the way, because 9 times out of 10, what stops us in our tracks from accomplishing whatever objective we have is that inner critic that's screaming loudly, trying to talk us out of doing those extraordinary things. So everyone's coming to the table with their extraordinary thing that they want to accomplish over a 3-month period, and we're working on it together. I'm real excited about that. And then there is a book that I've been writing, and this is my 3rd iteration of this book over the last 3 years. It's called The Stories I Told Myself. And it's all about the mindset stories that I told myself and how I rewrote them. But there's a twist to the book. It's more of an interactive book where the readers are given exercises and asked questions so that they can rewrite some of those prevalent stories that have stopped them from, building the business of their dreams, from taking that leap to getting out of corporate America, to being an entrepreneur, to getting out of, to stop settling in relationships and settling in careers.
Yeah. I really think that your niche is very, very cool. We'll talk about that later. Like that's a really cool thing that you're helping people out with. Where can people go to either learn more about you, or where can they go to connect with you further?
Oh, well, they can find me on my website. That's probably the best place to send them. And that's what'swithinyou.com.
Nice. Can you spell out your name just in case the people tuning in are on audio only?
Yeah, absolutely. My last name is spelled Thomas, Thomas, and my first name is Pam.
Nice. One question that we didn't really talk about is just kind of like the future. So what is
Yeah.
your vision for your life, as far down the road as you like to think about?
Oh gosh. My vision has always been the same, and that is to help as many people as I possibly can mute that inner critic. Whether that's through the group coaching programs. Once COVID is wherever it ends up dying, fingers crossed, I would love to get back out on the public speaking circuit and do things more face to face. But for now, we'll just be doing things virtually.
Nice. Nice. Really, thanks for your time today. I really appreciate speaking with you and
Sure.
learning more about you.
Well, it was a pleasure. Thank you, Bryce. I really appreciated the opportunity to chat with you for a little while.
Yeah, it was fun. And for those watching, hopefully you found this valuable as well. And just once again, if you haven't already, come and join us inside of our free community. Again, we're going to have some goodies inside, some resources and tools to help you live a better life. So if that's you, go on ahead and click on the links that are above or below the video and learn a little bit more about it. Now, hopefully you enjoyed watching this as much as we enjoyed creating it. Feel free to hit that share button so other people can get some great value as well. Have a great day. We're done recording in 3 and 2 and 1, and see ya.